Hi there and welcome to Fox 40 News at 11. I'm Sincere Tonsel and we are starting the top of our hour with breaking developments. Fox 40 News at 11, the first to bring you the challenger entering the 2024 race against Darrell Steinberg for mayor of Sacramento. Challenger, that is, if he decides to run. That candidate declaring today is Dr. Flojean Cofer, joining me now live just about an hour before she announces her candidacy to all of the capital city. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sincere.
First, tell us, why do you want in this race? A lot of people, potential candidates and voters alike, are very disillusioned about politics these days, and here you are saying to the entire city, I want to do this.
Yes, well, Sincere, like all of you and all of your viewers, I love Sacramento, and it really breaks my heart to see us suffer when many of the challenges the city is facing are fixable. That's why I've worked alongside many people across the region to push for a positive change. Because I know we can create a city where everyone can afford housing, feel safe, and has a voice in our decisions. And so I'm running for mayor because I really believe that more is possible.
Darrell Steinberg is a lawyer. He's been state Senate pro tem. He's been mayor of Sacramento since 2016. We here at Fox 40 have reported earlier this year that there's some musing. He wants to be an appellate judge. After the strong mayor proposal failed, he was quoted as saying he would not seek a third term, but who knows? Why is it that you think he maybe shouldn't be the next person to run this town?
Well, as you mentioned, he hasn't decided if he's going to run, but I'm running because I have never had formal institutional power in the way that he has. And so I've had to harness the power of collaboration. And while many people view our current structure as a weak mayor, I think its strength comes from the way that it requires the mayor to collaborate because it leads to lasting change. And I, like most of Sacramento, rejected the strong mayor proposal because we think our mayor already has enough power. The power resides in bringing people together. And there's a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And I want us to go far. And I think that this city has all the tools it needs. It just needs a visionary leader to put them into place.
Some of our viewers are hearing your name right now and saying to themselves, I think I know her. Didn't she have something to do with Measure U? Now, Measure U was passed back in 2012 and was a half-cent sales tax proposal to restore and protect city services. Mayor Steinberg appointed you to lead the Measure U Citizens Advisory Committee. Part of your work there involved calling for the city to remove $20 million worth of that sales tax money from the police budget, and it said focus those dollars on an inclusive, economic, and youth-centered agenda. How was your time on that committee kind of informing this choice to run for mayor?
It certainly is, because I have served in every capacity in this city as a resident, as a coalition member, as a commissioner for 4 years chairing that committee. And what I've seen is that our voices are really important, but they also have to find a voice with our city leadership. And so I really believe in funding public safety because the goal is to create a city where we all feel safe. And that's why I worked with Councilmember Chenier to pass a resolution back in 2020 to define public safety and expand that definition to include prevention. Because I think most of us feel that rather than solve crime expertly, we'd actually rather be safe and never have to be victimized. And that's possible. Right here in Sacramento, we've had years without gun violence, and then we've taken money away. So when the new Measure U money was made available in 2018 with a permanent full cent sales tax, I immediately signed up to be on that committee and to try to guide those dollars. And unfortunately, we didn't get the robust investments in the things that were promised during the campaign. And so I'm here to say we should not break promises. We should say what we mean and mean what we say. And I think there's a path forward for us to really have a safe city if we make investments like we did just 3 short years ago to make that happen.
So you tangled with the mayor over the use of Measure U money, also very loudly over the Measure O proposal that passed last fall. That is in effect now, creating a special partnership between Sacramento City and Sacramento County, one pushed by business interests to address homelessness. No one can deny that the problem of our Sacramento neighbors without shelter and services is a huge one that affects us all. Now, you were against Measure O. Why was it not the right thing in your opinion? And what would you do as mayor of a city that's operating under Measure O? The top thing that you would do to maybe change the situation?
Well, first, I would not start with telling people where they can't be when the city has yet to ever give formal guidance on where people can be. Existing as a human and taking up space is not an option. And so given that is not an option, it's our city's responsibility to tell people where can they legally be with their belongings to receive services and be able to feel safe. And so I didn't think it made sense after passing another ordinance by the city to say where people can and can't be, to pass another one that didn't have any money in it to actually provide shelter and to provide affordable housing, which is what's necessary to address the crisis. It was just making the problem worse by saying to people, here's another place that you can't be. Here's another way that your lives are going to be disrupted, without even knowing when we were voting on it what that formal agreement was going to be with the county and a path forward to actually addressing the problem. There's a lot of literally and figuratively sweeping things under the rug. And I think it's time we get to the heart of the issue and actually answer the questions and give proactive guidance to our unhoused neighbors, and then invest some dollars in giving them a place to stay. Because there's an answer to homelessness, and the answer is housing.
You're a doctor and epidemiologist, Senior Director of Policy for Public Health Advocates. California's state of emergency for COVID is over. COVID itself is not, regardless of what many people may think. How do you hope to use the lessons learned during COVID, because it's not the only illness that's revealed societal inequities? How do you hope as mayor to use those lessons to craft city policies for the future?
We should always be expending some of our energy looking at prevention in all aspects of our lives, because it's important, because it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when we're going to face another emergency. And one of the things that COVID laid bare is that we were unprepared. We were unprepared for the known threat of a global pandemic. And so part of what we need to learn from that is to save some of our energy, save some of our dollars, save some of our staff time to really be able to plan out, so that we are not building the ship as we're also trying to sail it, but we actually have things in place that we can execute when the known threats that it's a matter of not if, but when, come to pass.
Alrighty, there are harsh critiques quickly about how city meetings are run, for better or for worse. People feel disenfranchised. Any particular way, and like I said, we're almost out of time, that you might want to try and change council operations if you're elected?
Absolutely. One of the first things that I would do is make sure that people have a say. I would first and foremost allow the city proposals to be on a website somewhere so people can see them. Who's sponsoring them? I would try to route them through our boards, committees, and commissions for advice before they come to the council for a full vote. And at each opportunity, I would encourage the chairs of those committees, and certainly as the chair of the city council, for us to allow the opposition to have an opportunity to be able to speak, similar to a model that we already have at the state. Because what we see is that amendments can come up, and good ideas can be inspired by being able to hear from all of our community members. Right now, it feels like a clique and a club that you're not invited to until the last minute, and you really have no say because you only get 2 minutes to respond.
Alrighty, Dr. Flojean Cofer declaring today that she intends to run for mayor of the city of Sacramento. Again, your official announcement happening at Sacramento City Hall right at noon. Thank you for bringing your news and your views to Fox 40 News at 11 first.
Thank you for having me.